So I'm making a video on how to use the homebrew apps that are on here. The apps that you see that I separated on the right side are the ones that I don't actually use. So I have them already on here from a data dump, so I don't really know how they work. But the ones on the left are the ones I do know how to use. I'm gonna start with Twilight Menu. This is how you play your DS games. It does take a minute to load up, so you're gonna see a white screen for a minute. Sometimes this takes a while, but sometimes it can load instantly. You can skip this menu by pressing start, or that cutscene, sorry. So it should automatically load to the DS games because the way I set it up, it should just straight up say Kirby. So once you go all the way to the end of the game, to the games, or you don't have to go all the way to the end, I'm just showing you that it doesn't actually stop here. You see it says up in the top right here, it says press R to press next. That'll load the other games that I have on here, because I have quite a bit of games. And I think the last game I have is Yoshi's Island. But you press, I think, Y. Yes, you press Y and then X to use cheats or to select cheats for the games. Do not press X first because that'll give you a prompt to delete the title. I'm going to press B. So that's it for Twilight Menu. You press home and then to exit out. Some apps you don't want to press home because it'll crash the game. Or it'll crash the system, sorry. Like, for example, these two emulators I have right here, or sorry, this emulator right here, MGBA. If I were to press home to close it, it would crash the whole system. And you'd have to restart it, which isn't really a big deal. But I'm just letting you know that if you want to exit out quickly, you just spam B instead. This should automatically just load up all the games. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just press A on the game and it'll load up. It does take a minute. But there should be like 1,000 GBA games on here. And then I think you press X to open up the menu, and you can use save states so you can load back to an exact point in the game. But to exit the app, don't press the home button. You just go to exit game, and then once it loads all the games, you just spam B and it'll close the game, or it'll close the emulator. These two, this is for GBA, this is for Game Boy Color games. FBI is for installing games manually, like from the internet, but I don't think you'd ever need to use this. This is HShop. This is for downloading games. Pretty much any game you can think of that's on the eShop is probably on here, because this is like, oh, there's an update. I'm gonna update it. My bad. Didn't know there was an update, but it shouldn't take too long. It's only a megabyte. Yeah, there's no way for me to pause the video. I literally just have to wait. This is the way my phone is set up. I'm sorry. And it's saying network connection lost. I'm just going to close it out. I'm going to take it closer to my router, because I really want to show you how this app works. I'm just going to click cancel to update it right now, just so I can show you how it works. Never mind, I actually have to update it. Okay. Okay, cool, it updated this time. This is basically just a free shop to download any game you want. It's pretty self-explanatory. It says there's like 5,574 titles you can download. So um, at the bottom you can search for specific titles, or you can go to games and search that way. And it's all organized by region. It should be in alphabetical order too, so you can download any 3DS game using Ace Shop. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm gonna go to another app. This is a theme manager. I don't know how to pronounce that, but this is a theme manager. So to install themes, you go to themeplaza.com, and you can scan a QR code by pressing R. You press R to scan the QR code. To install a theme, you press A and then you hold up on the D-pad. Or you can, if you want to install multiple themes, you press B to queue up the shuffle. Like say I want GameCube, it'll show that little icon that means I've queued it. And then I want Monster Hunter, I'm going to queue that. And then I want this theme. So then you would, after you queue it up, you'd hold A and hold down. It says on the top screen, it says hold down to shuffle install. That basically makes it to where you can have multiple themes, and they shuffle through it. Like if the 3DS goes into sleep mode for like 30 seconds, like you close the lid for like 30 seconds and you reopen it, it'll change the theme. It's still installing. Alright, so to exit this app, you just press start and then press home. Yeah, it removed the theme. Basically, I didn't wait long enough. Press the power button real quick. Oh, it was on the right. Never mind. Okay. Well. My bad. This video is going to take a lot longer than I thought it would. I'm not going to edit it or anything, so it's going to be just a raw video. But you can probably skip through it if you want to skip the waiting times. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to completely power it off and turn it back on. It was being buggy on me. That was my fault. Okay, so this is a universal updater. This is to update all of your homebrew apps. If I forgot to change the language to English from Japanese, I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. Like, you'd go to settings right here, and it would be the top option. You press A, and then just choose English. But anyways, you'd go... basically, if before you update your 3DS, you want to make sure you update Luma. Like, if it ever says, hey, there's a system update available, make sure you go here first and go to this icon, this little star icon. It's called Luma 3DS. Press A on it and press boot.firm. Make sure you always do that before you update. After that, it should be fine to update normally. So say I were to download something, it would go to this queue. It would go to the queue right here, and it would pop up in the queue, but it already downloaded, so you can press start to exit just like the other homebrew apps. Checkpoint, in order to use Checkpoint, you want to make sure you have a save file already in the game. Like, Checkpoint is to back up save games. So you want to make sure that the game you want to back up already has a save file. So if I open this, there's nothing's probably going to show up because I don't think there's any games that are loaded on here. But say this, you already know that you have a save file in the game, and this is taking too long to load. You just hold B, and it should that'll refresh it, and then the game should pop up. But there's no save files on the system, so it's a fresh system. Yours should look like this until you start playing games. But it'll show the little icon of the games, and that's where you can back up save files, and you should also get cheats for your games. And these are already set up to where, just like the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color emulator, it'll straight up open up to where the ROMs are. This is for all of your homebrew apps if they weren't an actual little app, like the .3dsx files, but you shouldn't really need to use this. This is PKSM. This is for like generating Pokemon, and then this is for injecting badges so you can get more badges, and then this is for basically like a free Pokemon bank, but it's only locally, not stored online. It's stored to your SD card. And that's pretty much all the info I got on the apps that I use.